got an announcement that's obviously been out in the news the last couple of days, but they are officially validating that here today. Joe Garone, who's the general manager of Furniture Row Racing, and he's got his new driver for 2013, and that's former NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion Kurt Busch. Congratulations, Joe. Congratulations, Kurt. This is going to be exciting moving forward for your racing organization, Joe. You got a championship driver here, and a guy obviously that knows how to win. And Joe, just talk a little bit about this announcement, how it came about, and your excitement and thoughts about having Kurt Busch drive that number 78 Furniture Row Chevrolet in 2013.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you. You know, just in the progress of growing the Furniture Row team over the years, we've met some milestones trying to get where we're at and taking advantage of opportunities as they've come up, and this is certainly an opportunity. We're viewing it that we're really excited to have Kurt on board moving forward here. And just from the sense of the race team and relationship-wise, we're going to go ahead and have Kurt in the car starting at Charlotte. Again, we're really excited about that. Will give us the opportunity to have those relationships with the crew chief and driver start coming together. So we're excited.
Well, absolutely. That is great news. Kurt Busch going to be driving that number 78 starting October 13th, the Bank of America 500 at Charlotte. And Kurt, first of all, congratulations. This is great news for you, and I know you got to be excited about this new opportunity that's been presented by Joe and his team. And you know, they've proven they can win. They won a big race in Darlington. I was there. That was exciting. And just talk about now you're moving over to the number 78 with Furniture Row and next to Joe there.
Well, thanks, Kerry, and thanks, Joe. This is a partnership that you know puts two programs together, such as myself and Furniture Row, on the same page to move the needle. You know, we all want to go out here to try to win races. We want to try to compete at top levels, and you need teams, you need drivers, you need engineering support, you need all different elements of a program to be competitive. You just can't have one superior thing over others and expect it to override other areas of the team. And what I mean by that is when you get into the chase, you have teams that have the highest level driver, they have the highest level pit crew, the highest level engineering support, engines, and everything else. And that's what I think Furniture Row has. It's a diamond in the rough. This program is undiscovered, and they have not reached their full potential. And I see this from Joe Garone, I see this from Barney Visser, and I see this from Todd Barrier, a crew chief that's been in the sport nearly 20 years. Everybody's coming together, and the central nucleus is Barney Visser. And Barney is a fantastic gentleman that believes in me, and I can't wait to get in the car and deliver. And we're going to start this process this year, and so that's great to get a jump on 2013. That way we don't go to Daytona with the deer in the headlights feel. We're going to get all the bugs worked out of the way of the newness, the operating procedures, the trips back and forth to Denver. All of this will be scienced out and smoothed out, and you know, heck, it's just an opportunity to get in a quality car this year, and I can't wait.
That's terrific, and certainly looking forward next year driving that new 2013 Chevrolet. That's going to be exciting. I know we're going to do some testing with that here the rest of this year, but we'll take some questions right now. Claire B. has one. We'll start with Claire. If you could raise your hand, let's get Claire the microphone, and then we'll go to Lee Spencer. Go ahead, Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Kurt, can you talk about what you think you can achieve with this program, the difference between Finch's operation and this, and kind of your long-term plan, how much you think you can lend to this program?
Well, to me, just from the outside looking in, you see all the pieces in place. And, you know, the short term here will be to get settled in and to go through these 6 races to just work out the bugs and to settle in, to get comfortable in that seat. And that's to get to know Joe more, to get to know Barney, the whole program, as well as Todd Barrier. I believe in him And I think you need an experienced crew chief in this garage area to find the success that this team, and I think that I'm capable of. And we just see how it goes from there. I mean, we want to be that gang that shows up at Daytona as one of the teams with an asterisk next to it, and that means we've got a shot to win. And that's what we want to have all season long.
How much of a jump from Finch in that program to this?
Well, there's different ways to compare things, and you know, I got to read a lot this week, and that was part of my strategy to come in on a Monday, let a lot of it snowball this week, and see how things turn out. And you know, it's disappointing to hear that a lot of people view it as a lateral move. That's a slap in the face to Barney Visser. It really is, because he has put together a program that is tiers above, I mean, just different, I mean, levels of competition above where James Finch is. And James will admit to that. But Barney Visser, this program, they are committed. Their alliance with Richard Childress, it's there and it's solid. And it's just why when you say a lateral move, that's, you know, I don't like that so much. It's a slap in the face to Barney Visser, but, you know, and everybody in this garage area knows if you have a hard card, you know the differences in the team.
Let's go to Lee, and then we'll go all the way back to David. Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer of Fox Sports. Can you talk about some of the people that have stood by you through the transition? And Joe says he wants to make this ride attractive enough to you that this one-year deal, it gets an extension at the end of the process.
Well, it's been a fun year to get back to the roots of racing where it all starts, and that is working hard, getting the grease under your fingernails, working with Finch and the guys. It was a great step for me to see what I had in the beginning when I was a young rookie coming into the sport. And with the way that all of this has turned out, I mean, my girlfriend Patricia, my family, the fans have been incredible. The support from Joe Garone and the whole gang in Colorado, this gives you that feeling of family, and we're in this together, and we're going to do it right. And so it's been a great journey to, you know, work hard and not necessarily work smart sometimes, but get back to the roots of it this year and just look forward to, with the 78 car, who knows how long this the marriage could match up. I mean, in this day and age, everybody dates before they get married, so we'll see how this turns out.
Exactly. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, Kurt, David Newton, ESPN.com. You talked about how you want this team to be a chase contender. It's got all the parts to get there. Neither one of the Busch brothers was in the chase this year. Do you think it's good for the sport to have you and Kyle in the chase?
Yes, of course it is.
Why?
Yes, why?
Why? Oh, because we're polarizing figures, right? No, we're competitive guys that want to go to the front, just like you know, everybody that's in this NASCAR Sprint Cup garage. And of the 6 years that I've been in the chase out of 9, 5 of those years I thought I had a legitimate championship car. So there's teams that say, yeah, we want to get in the chase. That's one thing. But being competitive and to make a run at the championship is another. And so that's what we have to do is, and there's different ways to get into the chase. There's consistency. Guys like Martin Truex Jr. this year, Kevin Harvick, they didn't win, but they got in the chase. Then there's guys like Casey Kane that started out with a new team. They won a few times, and they locked themselves in the chase. But getting in the chase is one thing. Being competitive and making a run through the 10 weeks is another. And I've done it once before, and Kyle is definitely putting himself in position to try to make the chase more often than I have, but we've got to get him further through the chase and get him through some of the rougher spots that he's found in the chase to make it to Homestead with a shot to win it.
Over here to the right, Bob Pockris.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. When you say that calling a lateral move would be a slap in the face to Barney Visser, what is it about the Furniture Row program that you feel makes it stronger than where you've been? I mean, is it the depth of people? Is it the equipment in the shop? Is it the RCR Alliance? Can you kind of expound on that, please?
Well, I think that it's everybody's job in this garage area to know who's a player and who's not. And the level of commitment that Barney has, the alliance with Richard Childress Racing, the experience level that this team has, it's a no-brainer. It's very easy to see, and you know, anybody with a hard card knows that this 78 car has much more potential in it. And the 51, you know, we're running equipment that's 4 years old, That's all 2008 stuff when Finch switched over with the car of tomorrow, and we did the best we could with what we had. So it's very obvious to me on why this is not a lateral move.
Any other questions? Oh, we got a couple more. Let's go to Jeff, Nate, and then maybe wind up here with Claire. Go ahead, Jeff Gluck.
Jeff Gluck from SBNation.com. Kurt, I think it's at the end of next year where a ton of guys' contracts expire and lots of stuff opens up. And maybe there wasn't as much, as many opportunities across the board this year. Do you feel like this next year could be a good stepping stone for you to get something really big if stuff opens up at the end of next season?
Right now I'm focused with Furniture Row and the 6 races this year, and what we can do next year as a team together. And it's important to be, comfortable in a situation and to be on the same page and to have this family atmosphere with Joe Garone, Barney Visser. We will be on the same page all the way through the season, and who knows? I might not need to test the waters of the free agent market. It's just a matter of finding the comfort zone. I've been with big teams. I've had different things happen with each of the programs. Taking this step back this year, it's allowed me to see how more of the integral part of the sport works. And it's been refreshing for me to see all the different avenues now, and I feel much better prepared. And settling in with these guys, that's what the zone is right now, these next 6 weeks.
Let's go to Nate, Lee, and then we'll finish with Claire. Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Kurt, you're going to a team that's based outside the Charlotte area as a single-car team and as an alliance with a NASCAR establishment. So in some ways, it's almost a direct parallel to the team that you're leaving. So can you understand that maybe people might look at it as maybe lateral because at least on the surface, it looks the same? And based off what you're saying about them being a diamond in the rough, are you ready to, do you think you will win races next year? Are you ready to guarantee making the chase with this team?
I've already answered that question, Nate. I think you can honestly know that the 78 car is a quality effort, and the millions of dollars behind it to get to the racetrack every week prove that. Having the alliance with Childress Racing, having a chassis, there's chassis lists built every week, and you see that posted on J-Ski. Pull up the chassis numbers on where we are with James Finch and see where they rank amongst the Hendrick numbers. See where Barney Visser's and Joe Garone's Furniture Row car ranks amongst where the RCR cars are. You'll see that. You'll see that it's up-to-date equipment and that these guys are prepared with the pit crew, with the engineering support, and the alliance much more in depth. And so, there's so many different ways to define it. You guys just don't see it when you sit in here.
Let's go Lee and then finish with Claire. Go ahead, Lee.
Just a couple quick questions for clarification. How many members come to the track with your 51 car on a weekly basis?
There's the 8 guys that come and work as called the road crew, and they are the shop crew as well. There's only 2 guys that stay back at the shop when we're here at the racetrack. How many engineers do you have back at the shop at Phoenix Racing, Kurt? 1. Joe, tell us the depth of the organization as far as numbers of what you have at your place and your engineers, and talk about what your expectations are for the rest of, what you've been there since, having built this. Talk about what your expectations are for 2013, Joe.
Well, to start with, we're 64 people. When we come to the racetrack, we still have approximately 40 at the shop working on R&D, working on with our engineering group, preparing for tests, the upcoming tests. So we're pretty strong, and that goes back to kind of the comparisons to what James has going on. It's a much different organization. It really is. Our expectations, racing's really hard to predict the future, but with Kurt...
Unless you're Denny, I guess, right?
Well, that's true, unless you're Denny, and he pulls that off. But with Kurt behind the wheel, seriously, we're going to win some races. Our equipment really is, compare it to the 29. And so we expect to win races and be competing competitively every weekend. That's our expectations.
Final question, Claire B. Lang.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Kurt, you said last year when you went into it, you're going to have fun. Is this a lot more pressure for you, coming out of having fun? Did you have fun at it? And I have two questions. That would be the first. Is sort of a different platform in your mind coming into this?
Yeah, the way that you have fun is you take a step back and you see everything that's around you with the 51 guys, and we worked hard, we had fun, and we went to the racetrack hoping that every week the stars would align like they almost did at Sonoma. I mean, this could be a whole different discussion with the way that things went this year if we had won at Sonoma. We won at Nationwide and Daytona, and then we had a string in August of part failures, of brake calipers, axles broke, the wheel fell off at Watkins Glen. But all through that, I kept digging, knowing that I'm going to give 100% because these guys are giving 100%. And the whole process for me was in the beginning to try to stay strong, stay out front, to be there. And then, I wrecked the car a few times pushing too hard. Also, James Finch said in the shootout, he says, win with that car or bring it on home in a basket. So when you're given the green light by an owner to go and win or wreck, that's what fun is. And, the big race we did at Talladega to almost bring that in, I had the wrong approach, I think, in the beginning of the season. I was following my Zen master, Charlie Sheen, and that wasn't going very well. So I had to look back, look around, and then I followed a fellow top 10 most hated athlete guy, LeBron James. And, he brought his talents down to Miami and won the championship down there. So I'm going to use that motivation. I'm going to take my talents to Denver and bring the championship to out there, all right? Then I decided that I didn't need Charlie Sheen, so I'm going to look at a new Zen master. I found him. It's Bryce Harper, 19-year-old phenom out of Vegas, and he's the Nationals guy that's helped their team get into the playoffs. And he's so wise. He told the media, he says, no more clown questions. I'm not going to answer any clown questions. So I'm really looking up to a 19-year-old Bryce Harper to help me through all this.
Last question, Richard Childress. What kind of discussions did you have with Richard about this? What has Richard told you?
Well, the thought with Richard was, hey, what can we do together? And when we couldn't make that materialize, he's like, we're going to make this happen. We're going to create a stronger alliance with the 78. And so you're going to see a 29 car, a 31, a 27, and you're going to see a 78 all work together as one.
Kurt, Joe, congratulations. Look forward to not only next year, but this year. I'm going to have my eye on that number 78 car at Charlotte. And good luck to y'all. And thanks for coming by here today. And appreciate everything you're doing for the sport, Joe. Really do. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.